All right, we're getting in breaking inputs coming in. This is with regards to the India alliance standing against Jagdeep Dhankar is what we are learning. The opposition is likely to now move a no confidence motion against Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. Remember, the opposition's been very vocal about how they are not being allowed to voice their angst. Today also, one could see similar scenes where Mallikarjun Kharge was not given priority. Let's quickly go across to Pallavi, who brings us those breaking inputs. Pallavi, what are you learning in terms of the reasons behind this no confidence motion against Dhankar?
So I'm just going to read out from the no confidence motion. Some of the information that we've gathered is that basically the India Bloc countries, the India Bloc parties, for example, the Samajwadi Party, the Congress, the I.N.D.I.A party, all of them feel that the Rajya Sabha chairperson is running the entire house in a non-partisan manner. In a partisan manner, it should actually be run in a non-partisan manner, and they are blaming the chairperson directly for not allowing the house to run. They are saying that every time we want to raise the issue of crony capitalism, you also have the attempts being made by the government and also goaded along and supported by the chairperson, repeated disruptions. You allow the house to run, and we are going to ensure that all the topics, all the issues are debated and discussed. You clearly do not want the debate to be discussed. You don't want us to question the Prime Minister, and that's the reason why you have decided that the house should be adjourned. So basically, they're removing this no confidence motion in the working style of the Rajya Sabha chairperson, and I think this is now going to lead to a complete breakdown of communication between both the sides. And as a result of which, despite the Rajya Sabha chairperson saying that I have met leaders of both the house trying to ensure that peaceful working of the the functioning of Rajya Sabha, this is really not happening, and it's not the first time, frankly speaking, that there has been a breakdown of talks between the two sides.
Pallavi, that's exactly what I was coming to, because remember in August itself, as many as 50 MPs had signed a resolution to move a similar no confidence motion against Vice President Dhankar, and at that time they had even accused the entire parliamentary setup of turning off the microphone of Mallikarjun Kharge every time he rose to speak up.
Yes, and remember that incident where Kalyan Banerjee had mimicked the chairperson? That hadn't gone down very well with the government or with the chairperson himself, because they feel that he's a constitutional position, there's a maryada which has to be followed as far as the working of the parliament is concerned. You may disagree with him, but that does not mean that you are going to be using this kind of a language against him. Now there's no confidence motion, and we have to wait to see, because there's a procedure which is involved, and whether it's even going to be admitted, because it requires a certain number of MPs to be signing it, and then only can it be accepted by the House or by the presiding officer. But I think it's more about posturing. It is more about a larger point which the opposition party is trying to make, which is that we have complete and lack of faith as far as a chairperson's ability to run the House impartially is concerned.
Pallavi, going to request you to continue staying with me. In fact, I'm joined in by BJP spokesperson Shehzad Poonawalla on the phone line. Shehzad, not the first time that the opposition's now going to move that no confidence motion against Vice President Dhankar, but what do you make of, this repetitive action of sorts that's taking place?
Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar comes from the farming community. He comes from the OBC Samaj. He is coming from the Jat community from Rajasthan. And time and again, Congress, particularly in its hatred for people who come from such background, they either mock him, they mimic him. Remember, Rahul Gandhi was making video of Kalyan Banerjee mocking his posture. Then we have seen in Parliament also, inside the House, how they have used very foul language for him, particularly Samajwadi Party MPs and others. So I think this is a habit or a trait of the India Alliance leaders that जो भी बैठेगा संवैधानिक पद पर उनका करो अपमान, यही India Alliance की पहचान. They are free to bring these no confidence motions, but when the no confidence motion fails, then at that time they come and change the topic and they say that no, we have been subdued, we have not been allowed to speak. So you see, today there's a no confidence motion against the people in the opposition. People are rejecting them in Maharashtra, people are rejecting them in Haryana. Rahul Gandhi is being rejected by his own allies. So I think Congress is doing this only to divert the attention so that Rahul Gandhi's failure as a leader of opposition can be diverted and they can put the onus on Samvidhanik Pad holders like Mr. Dhankar.
But Shahzad, opposition MPs have consistently maintained that there's a marked lack of space and time being given to them to express their views on the floor of the House. At the same time, one, is also reminded of the allegations that were made in August when they said that the microphone of the leader of opposition and, of course, the Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge as well as Rahul Gandhi was being routinely turned off.
First of all, Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar does not have buttons in his office or in his desk that he can control the microphone. That is controlled by a different system. Secondly, if we are talking about the position of the chair, you would remember Rajiv Shukla had actually walked up as Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs and had asked the Deputy Chairman, Mr. Kurian at that time, to adjourn the House. That was how they used to run the House. You remember how the Andhra bill was, bifurcation bill was passed? Do they remember how the live proceedings were stopped during the Parliament session for the Andhra bill to be passed? Do they remember how many MPs they have suspended? And do they remember what they're doing look at their own attitude in Telangana. These people wear T-shirt of Adani and come to Parliament, no problem. Now Mr. KCR's son, KTR has worn a T-shirt that Revant Adani Bhai Bhai, and he has gone to assembly. They have not allowed him to come to the assembly. LOP in Tamil Nadu, when he wants to raise Kallakurachi, he is suspended for 1 month. So Congress ke daant aur dikhane ke alag aur khane ke alag, like hathi ke daant, they should be the last ones lecturing about parliamentary procedure and decorum.
But Shahzad, I'm sure you'll agree what former Union Minister, the late Arun Jaitley ji had to say. He had said that, parliamentary accountability is as important as parliamentary debate. And we've seen that, consistently that's been declining as far as the Indian Parliament is concerned.
Well, please go and check. We should not have these debates in vacuum. Let us have a relative debate, and please go and see average time of passing a bill during UPA was 4 minutes. Secondly, when Mr. Arun Jaitley ji made those comments, at that time there were 2G and other cases which the Supreme Court had ruled on, but there was no discussion taking place in Parliament. Here, the Rafale matter, Pegasus matter, Hindenburg matter, the Supreme Court has given a clean chit. Thirdly, none of our MPs, including Mr. Jaitley or Sushma Swaraj ji, ever ran into the well of the House or stood on the desk and they threw papers at the speaker or the chair. So nobody of the BJP has ever done this kind of action. And please check the behavior of the opposition MPs who stand on the table, even assault the marshals.
My last question, Shahzad, before I let you go, is, of course, the Congress defense is that because we've raked up the Adani issue, the Congress is, the BJP is ensuring that we do not get to have a discussion on the floor of the House, which is why they've brought up the George Soros link again.
On the contrary, first of all, Samajwadi and TMC do not join the Congress protest on Adani. They have said that this Adani issue is a non-issue. Mr. Sharad Pawar actually says that Adani is being targeted. Why don't they contact Mr. Sharad Pawar? And lastly, if they are so much against Adani, forget discussion in Parliament. Cancel his contracts in Telangana. Cancel the contract you have given him in Kerala within the import. Cancel and take a stand. No, why are you saying that in Kerala and Telangana is good Adani and then Baki Jagah is bad Adani? And if they are committed, why are they running away from George Soros debate? They are the ones when we are saying let's have debate and discussion on George Soros and Sonia Gandhi's connection. Instead of saying yes for that and then discuss whatever issue you want under that, they are saying no, don't talk about George Soros and Sonia Gandhi connection, even though it is all in the public domain today.
All right. Thank you so much, Shahzad, for sharing your views with us.